We pick up from yesterday, with Gwen waltzing into the Horton house and showing off Julie's grandmother's necklace. Or, as Gwen makes clear, the von Leuschner necklace. She got Dimitri's fortune and was on holiday, but she cut it short to surprise Julie with the necklace. Surprise! Chad asks how Gwen got her hands on it, and she lays out the trail of sales that led to her. Gwen then offers sincere condolences to a touched Julie about Doug, but when she's asked to hand over the necklace, says she's got no intention of giving it up. It's hers now. Julie glares at her. Technically, she brought it home like she told Hope. Julie's ticked, and she doubts this was a coincidence. Well, Gwen admits she did read something in The Spectator about it being stolen. It might be petty, but the Hortons haven't exactly been nice to her over the years, so this is fun. Julie rolls her eyes and cuts to the chase. How much does Gwen want for it? She doesn't want money. She's got plenty now. This was just a trip to rub it into Julie. But she's also looking to tie up some loose ends in Salem. Fed up, Chad dismisses her, but before she goes, Gwen awkwardly asks if her dad was in town. She heard about the Abigail imposter. Jack didn't deserve that. Ah, well, time to go. It's been just lovely, Gwen snarks. Julie stops her to promise that she'll get her necklace back. One way or another. Julie calls Hope after Gwen's gone, who had no idea Julie wasn't getting the necklace back. She's just sick about it. Julie fills Chad in, and they both vow Gwen won't get away with this. Chad suggests talking to JJ. Julie hates how much she hates Gwen, lording over the Horton family. Stephanie and Alex are canoodling in the park, watching fireworks when he puts on some music and asks her to dance. They then enjoy some champagne and move on to talking about Kate and Steph's book. She's still embarrassed about outing herself as the writer. Alex asks if she's thought up a pen name yet, but no. She recalls growing up with her grandmother obsessed with romance novels and how it rubbed off on Uncle Jack, who tried to be a romance novelist. Except Kate put an end to that. Steph then admits that she put some autobiographical details in her novel. What details? Alex asks nervously. She deflects and has him play Never Have I Ever instead. He uses it to tell her he loves her. He's never felt like this about any woman before. He's been afraid to say it, but he's been feeling it. Touched, she says she loves him too. They start kissing, and Stephanie wants to get busy in the park, which turns Alex on even more. Javi's pacing in the hospital, then jumps on Kayla when she walks by to ask how his partner is. Heat exhaustion, but he's recovering, she says. They then get on to talking about how the baby's doing. Perfect little angel. Cut to Leo trying desperately to get the baby to stop crying as Gabby tries offering some advice, and Ari wanders out, annoyed. Leo's worried something's wrong with him. Gabby tries calming the baby, then Ari. A panicked Leo, though, decides to take Tesoro to the hospital. Back at the hospital, Kayla gives Javi some coffee, warning him it'll likely be a long night. Leo brings Tesoro in, and Kayla says after checking him out that it's just an upset stomach. He's relieved, and Kayla's a bit dumbfounded to see him so into dad mode. She's gonna give him some better formula, then finds out she can't anymore. Budget cuts, thanks to EJ. Javi's back again, but he stops and panics when he sees Leo and the baby. They go over what Kayla said, and the fellas head out to get the new formula. Out in the square, the guys reflect on how well this foster parenting thing is going after just one day. They grab some cake and catch up on their respective days. Leo's digging into Johnny's arrest and doesn't think he shot EJ, and he's going to keep digging. Javi tells him he has a big heart. Oh, please! A disgusted Gwen walks up behind Leo and greets him. Hello, Maddie. At the station, Rafe gets a call from Sami and confirms he's been looking after Ari, though she drops one surprise on him. In the newfound quiet, Gabby and Ari both admit to being shocked that not only did Leo take to the baby, he's actually kind of good at taking care of him. Ari wonders why Tesoro's mom left, and Gabby recalls being young, scared, and pregnant. Rafe gets home in time to tell Gabby she's a great mom, then offhandedly mentions Ari not having plans for the 4th of July. No plans. No cute boys, Rafe asks, but she says no, which is when he drops the boom. He hears she's been spending a lot of time with Doug Williams. Ari denies it, and Rafe points out that Roman saw them together. Fine, maybe she knows him. Gabby's a bit taken aback. He's a bit older, isn't he? And he stole Julie's necklace. Rafe just advises her to be careful, and Ari says she already knows he's flaky. She leaves to find Holly and Tate, angry that she's being stalked. She's 18, she can do what she wants and take care of herself. Rafe apologizes, and Ari gives an annoyed, "I forgive you," before leaving. Gabby asks what Rafe was doing at the station, and he tells her it looks like someone turned in the memory card. No one's watched it yet, but Rafe hopes it proves Johnny's innocent. Gabby, too. She doesn't want to testify. Out by the pub, Ari leaves a message for Holly, while a creepy man stalks behind her. He starts stalking over as she texts, but runs off when Kayla shows up. More. Is Holly leaving Salem? Julie apologizes to Chad for obsessing over jewelry, but Chad understands what it means to Julie. He asks if they get the necklace back, whether it will soften her anger towards Doug III. I don't know. Javi dumbfoundedly asks why Gwen called him Maddie. That's his real name, Leo says. He'll explain later. Gwen throws some shade about him being domesticated, and Leo timidly says he hasn't heard from her since she told him to screw himself. The sentiment still stands. She didn't come back for him. Her world doesn't revolve around him. She's there to take care of business. That's when Leo recognizes the necklace, and Gwen smugly tells him it's hers. Sami may not have made it back for John's funeral, but she's still on her way back to Days of Our Lives. And judging by the summer preview that the Peacock soap dropped, Marlena's going to need her more than ever. And, whether she likes it or not, Ari could use her grandmother too, what with getting mixed up with Doug and her impending kidnapping. Still, we know Sami won't be sticking around forever when she does come back. And one of the reasons for that is because Allison Sweeney is just so darn busy. The latest, delightful case in point? Fox's upcoming LEGO Masters Jr., hosted by Kelly Osbourne. The mini spin-off of the hit LEGO Masters is set to debut on August 18th, pairing the next generation of LEGO building kid competitors with celeb partners. And as our sister site Variety reports, Sweeney is partnering up with one of the teams. She's pairing up with AJ and Zach in the building competition and, as she shared on her Instagram story, "I had so much fun with these guys." We guess we'll have to wait and see how her LEGO skills stack up against the competition, but she did add a tongue-in-cheek, "They were very patient with my LEGO skills." We wouldn't write off Sweeney's LEGO skills, though. "Both of my kids are super excited that I'm a part of the show," Sweeney told Variety. Ben is 20 now, but when he was younger, he had a massive LEGO collection, so he was particularly psyched for me to be on the show. Megan is now 16, and she is very competitive, so she was pumping me up beforehand saying, "You got this, Mom." We're sure she does. So while we wait for Sami's return, be sure to check out Sweeney on LEGO Masters Jr. starting August 18th. Days of Our Lives, spoiler and updates tease Xander Kiriakis might have a new baby mama who could really stir the pot if lonely Xander hooks up with his old friend. Could a pregnancy storyline for Gwen Rizchek be on the horizon, considering how the two former outcasts bonded in the past, and Xander misses being a daddy? Before Xander and Sarah Horton Kiriakis' marriage fell apart, he proposed the idea of having another child. Xander was excited about the prospect of giving Victoria Kiriakis a sibling, as he truly loves being a father. Naturally, that plan unraveled after Xander brutally attacked Philip Kiriakis and discovered that Sarah was complicit in the forged letter scheme. Sarah wouldn't stand for his violence. For that matter, Xander wouldn't stand for Sarah's lies. Nevertheless, the discussion regarding Xander's wish to provide Victoria with a little brother or sister was intriguing. Could this still play a significant role in Xander's forthcoming storyline on Days? Perhaps involving a woman other than Sarah? Gwen's return to Salem is sure to catch Xander off guard, particularly when she attempts to rekindle their chemistry. Days spoilers indicate that Gwen is set to make a move on Xander, planting a kiss and possibly hoping for more intimate moments. Even if Xander turns her down now, he may eventually warm up to the idea of rekindling their chemistry. While Gwen was never Xander's one true love, there was certainly a strong attraction and mutual understanding between them. Unlike with Sarah, Xander feels he can be himself around Gwen. She may actually be a more suitable partner for Xander in certain respects. Naturally, Duel fans are aware that Gwen has her own share of missteps, but at least she doesn't pretend to be perfect. Given that Xander is currently frustrated with Sarah, this situation might actually benefit Gwen, allowing her to gradually wear him down. In simpler terms, Day's spoilers indicate that Gwen has a solid opportunity to end up back in bed with Xander eventually. If that occurs, it could definitely set the stage for Gwen to become pregnant with Xander's child. Just when Xander and Sarah are on the verge of mending their marriage, Gwen might drop the bombshell that she's expecting his baby and totally derail Sarah and Xander's attempts at reconciliation. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday, July 8th indicate some major bombshells on the horizon. A baddie returns to Salem while someone is busted, a couple enjoys a steamy night, and a character has baby drama. What's set to go down on Tuesday? Time to find out. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday, July 8th hint that Julie Williams and Chad DiMera will be caught off guard, and this sounds like they'll be in for a shock when Gwen Rischek returns to the Horton family household. Why is Gwen back in the little town? Only time will tell. Will Ari be doing something illegal, or will he catch her doing something her mother, Gabby Hernandez, wouldn't approve of? Then again, this might have something to do with Doug Williams III, so fans will have to tune in to find out. Across town, things will sizzle between Alex Kiriakis and Stephanie Johnson will get steamy. Nothing new for this super couple. However, will they create some content for her next book? Who loves seeing these two together? Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Tuesday reveal that Leo Stark will find out how challenging it is to take care of a newborn. Both Leo and Javi Hernandez are taking care of the baby, who was abandoned at the fire station, while the newborn awaits foster care. Still, as fans know, the baby is really Sophia Choi's. While Leo is struggling now, he'll eventually get into the groove of things. So will he end up bonding so much he decides to adopt the little boy? Are you excited about Tuesday's show? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Tune into the new Peacock soap regularly for all the drama, and check out SOS often for the best Days of Our Lives news, updates, and spoilers. Days of Our Lives sees Gwen Rischek is back in Salem and up to no good. And we're wondering if she's working with Vivian Alamain and if there's a big Stefan DiMera twist coming too. All right, at the end of Monday's Days episode, Chad DiMera was stunned to see Gwen at the door of the Horton house, and Julie Williams was doubly stunned because Gwen had the Horton family heirloom diamonds around her neck. She left town as the scorned Mrs. Dimitri von Leuschner DiMera. However, we are assuming that Gwen divorced that cheater and took a big chunk of Dimitri's change in the split. But you never know. Last we saw Gwen, she was hopping a jet to Alemania on a gold-digging expedition in October of 2023. Leo Stark's ex-bestie left Salem heartbroken because Gwen's haughty husband, Dimitri von Leuschner DiMera, had been playing hide the salami with her BFF Leo behind her back, even on their honeymoon. And then cheater Dimitri went on to cheat on Leo as well. Now you know they say how you meet them is how you lose them. And now Dimitri has moved on to some other guy, if I recall. I think somebody he met while in prison, and he wrote Leo a letter, and Dimitri said, basically, thank you next. So Leo has moved on with Javi Hernandez, and Gwen moved on to Alemania for a while, and it looks like she may have come back a wealthy woman. When she left town, she wanted nothing more to do with either Leo or Dimitri, but Gwen did grab a blank check from her hubby's checkbook, and Dimitri was arrested for trying to kill Stefan and Gabby Hernandez. So, Gwen left Salem to try and claim Dimitri's inheritance from his family. Remember, the marriage was all a precursor for him fully inheriting. And if you remember, in October of 2023, Emily O'Brien walked out of the airport as brunette Gwen and got onto a flight, and then she walked back in the door as recast Teresa Donovan in a blonde wig. Presumably, though, Gwen's been in Alemania all this time, and that's where things get really interesting. So, you know who else is there? Vivian Alamain, because that's her family territory, and also her son Stefan is there as well. Gwen's ex-right, so if you recall, Vivian had Yvonne shove Stefan DiMera in a car trunk, and Vivian had him hijacked back to Alemania to cool his heels. And Stefan's mom signed his name on the divorce papers and had them delivered to Gabby, breaking her heart. So the big question is whether Gwen has been conspiring with Vivian. So a while back, our leaker told us that Gwen was returning and was plotting with Vivian against the Kiriakis family, and that Gwen would mostly be the one on the front burner of the plot, because Louise Sorel couldn't do much filming. I shared that with you guys quite a while back when I first got the leak. And that leaked info from months ago coincides with things from the summer and fall promo and things we're seeing this week, because it looks like E.J. DiMera is conspiring with Gwen. And part of that may be an anti-Kiriakis plot. So we know she's still hot for Xander Cook, who split up from Sarah Horton right now. Plus, Vivian's got a grudge against the Kiriakis family since Philip claimed half of Xander's inheritance using the document that Vivian forged. But then, Philip's mom, Kate Roberts, ratted Vivian out to the cops, and Philip refused to kill Xander as Vivian demanded. So, messy, angry, salty, all those words describe her right now. So, bottom line, there's a lot to unpack here, and it sounds pretty twisted. Plus, it kind of seems random that Gwen wanders back into Salem at this precise moment. This week, she sees Chad and Julie Williams, who of course aren't thrilled to see her. And Gwen gets a shock when she runs into her ex, bestie Leo, in Horton Town Square, pushing a baby stroller. Plus, she's got on Julie's necklace that Hope Brady has been trying to find. Doug Williams stole it. Leo fenced it. Melinda Trask bought it. Then she resold it. And now Gwen's got it. This week, after tormenting Julie by showing off the Horton diamonds, Gwen gets some alone time with her hunky ex, Xander. And Days of Our Lives spoilers confirm that Gwen gives Xander a big kiss, but we know Sarah is his person, so he may shut it down. Plus, Xander wants full custody of Victoria, and he may realize rekindling anything with greedy Gwen could make him look bad in custody court. And our leaker also said that she's going to be more heavily involved with Chad and Kat Green, which is kind of interesting because Gwen seems to be plotting with E.J. DiMera. And we know Kat Green got orders from Shane Donovan at the ISA to find out where E.J. DiMera got the money to buy University Hospital, because Shane is certain it's dirty money, and Rafe Hernadez is also working with Kat Green. Now, spoilers hint that Chad DiMera finds out Kat Green's involved with the ISA, and Chad DiMera may actually help her make a case against EJ. You never know. One reason Chad's not involved with the family business is because of all the shady and illegal going on. Tony DiMera doesn't like any of that either. So, he's going to get involved in this soon, and he's plotting with Gabby. So, lots of stuff coming. It looks like it's an umbrella plot, and it could be that Gwen is trying to thwart the ISA investigation. I mean, really, the money for the hospital buyout could come from the Alamains or some other sketchy source that Gwen's tied to. But with Gwen involved, she may be protecting an Alamanian investment in EJ and the hospital. Plus, we've got scenes from the promo for summer with Marin getting sick and having dreams about being Stefano DiMera's Queen of the Night. And somebody else says Stefano O is still alive. But maybe they don't mean Stefan as in Joseph Mascolo, since the actor passed away years ago. Maybe they mean Stefan, middle initial O, as in Vivian's son. I mean, heck, they could even implant Stefano's memories into his son Stefan. Remember, they did that with Steve, and he was roaming around acting like Stefano with that bionic eye. And if you remember, they were calling him Stefano, but Kayla Brady dug out the microchip in Steve's neck, and he was back to being Patch again. But given that Rafe Hernandez and Vivian know each other well, and Rafe escaped from Salem in a submarine a couple of years ago, but still works for the DiMeras, this could all align for a wild and woolly summer storyline. And remember, Gwen really liked Jake Lambert, who turned out to be Stefan. So, she might be involved with him with or without Stefano's memories, as well as being involved with wicked Vivian Alamain. Our leakers spilled the Vivian Gwen stuff to us months ago. I shared it here. Hopefully you heard it. Madame Vivian has always wanted her son Stefan to be in control of the DiMera empire. So, Vivian could have helped EJ with the funds to buy the hospital, and Gwen could be on the job to stop Kat and Chad from learning the truth. I know I would be thrilled if Brandon Barash was back to Days of Our Lives, whether he's playing Stefan Demera or a version of that with his dad's Stefano's memories implanted in him. It sounds like a fun time. 23 years ago today, on July 8th, 2002, something happened to Days of Our Lives fans that they never expected. They were shocked all the way off their couches. Today is the anniversary of Rex and Cassie Brady landing in Salem in their spaceship. In the summer of 2002, Sean Brady and Belle Black went out to watch a meteor shower. Instead, they saw a spherical spaceship land, open up in capsule-like fashion, and Rex and Cassie stepped out barely dressed in skimpy tinfoil underwear. They spoke no English, so Sean and Belle hid them as long as they could and began teaching them to speak, and about Salem and being human. Eventually, the twins were discovered by the ISA and revealed to be genetically engineered humans. They both had tattoos of the one half of a phoenix on their wrists, connecting them to Stefano Demera. The search for answers had Marlena Evans believing she had given birth to the children while she was a prisoner for years on Stefano's island. And because Cassie had the same rare blood type as Tony Demera, it was suspected he was their father. As the summer continued, Cassie became obsessed with Sean Brady, but later set her sights on Lucas Horton. Around this time, the twins discovered Roman Brady, not Tony, was their father. Cassie was on the verge of sleeping with Lucas when Rex interrupted them with a second bombshell. Kate Roberts was their mother, making Lucas her brother. It turned out that Marlena was just a surrogate used by Stefano and Kate Roberts, and Roman Brady's sperm and egg were used to create the twins in a lab. If it feels like Emily O'Brien was just on Days of Our Lives recently, that's because she was. She returned to Salem in March, but played Teresa. She originally played Gwen Rizjesh, but left in October 2023, returning in the same episode as a recast of Teresa, taking over for Jen Lilly. Gwen left Salem after suffering a heartbreak when her new husband, Dimitri, had an affair with Leo. But now Gwen's back, and O'Brien has some things to say about her return. When Teresa went to prison because of her involvement with defrauding Alex and Xander over Victor's inheritance, as well as kidnapping baby Victoria, O'Brien told TV Insider, "I thought that was it. I was very emotional on the last day. I said my goodbyes. Little did she know what was yet to come." Once she departed Salem, O'Brien explained that she dove into working on her house. Eventually, the show came back to her and asked her not only to finish Teresa's story arc, but to later reprise Gwen as well. "I've always loved playing Gwen, so it was an easy answer for me, really," she remarked. O'Brien explained that when Gwen left Salem, she was despondent from her failed romance, but explained, "Now she has everything except for love, so she's sort of back to where she was, but with a full wallet." After divorcing Dimitri, she secured his inheritance and left town to try and get her hands on the rest of his fortune. Now she's back, and O'Brien marveled at how Gwen was refined by the writers. She went away and spent time with the elite, and now she has knowledge and status, the actress stated. So that's been a different twist to come back and play her. She's looking forward to reconnecting with other actors, and her dream would be to work with Jackie Harry's Paulina. Gwen is back in Salem, and Days of Our Lives spoilers for July 9th suggest that she has unfinished business with Xander. The two both have a lot of sins in their past. Could they also have a scheme or two percolating for the future? Xander and Gwen almost got married back in the day. But then Abigail revealed Gwen's role in scheming with Kristen to keep Sarah and him apart, so Xander dumped her. Gwen left town after finding out about Leo's affair with Dimitri. Yeah, what goes around, comes around. This applied to all three of them. But now she's back, and Xander and Sarah aren't together anymore. Seems like an opportunity there. For everybody. Meanwhile, Bonnie reminds Sarah of what her husband is capable of, and why they should never, ever be getting back together. Marlena is putting on a brave face for her loved ones, but daughter Belle isn't fooled. She knows her mother is suffering, and she wants to be there to help. Except Marlena isn't ready to admit it. At the same time, Doug has decided to play martyr and protect Ari from whoever is threatening him for the money Doug owes. He's such a saint. Now that Leo and Javi are playing house with little baby Tesaro, it's time for Leo to unveil his traditional sob story about his hellish childhood. It's his classic third date material. The only question is whether he'll go with the "my mother was horrible and never approved of or appreciated anything I did," and woe is me version, or the "my mother boosted me up too much, told me I was great at everything, and then I embarrassed myself publicly and meant." We've heard them both by now. Got a red-hot theory about your favorite soap storyline? Email news@soaphub.com. Yours could be our next hot topic. So Gwen's back, and at least so far, she still is as spiteful as ever. In the Tuesday, July 8th episode of Days of Our Lives, she tells Julie her intentions with Alice's necklace. And then she has a bitter reunion with her former bestie, Leo. Gwen can't help but Gwen. She has a fortune, something she has always wanted. But the money hasn't changed much about her, except for, maybe, her more sophisticated look. But on her return trip, she didn't hesitate to stick it to the Hortons. She proudly sported the necklace, but refused to give it up when Julie asked for it back. As far as she was concerned, she just needed to bring the treasured heirloom to Salem. That's what she did. She never promised to return it. Instead, she took satisfaction in Julie's reaction after she told her she wasn't giving it back. So, there has to be a way for Julie to get the necklace another way. Chad mentioned how they'll consult JJ to see if there's any legal way to get the necklace back. After all, it was stolen. But they had issues when they discovered it in Melinda Trask's clutches. And they expect to have those same issues getting it back from Gwen. After Gwen left Julie's, she ran into Leo in Horton Town Square. Yes, Guinevere and Maddie reunited, and it didn't feel so good. Understandably, she is holding on to her bitterness when it comes to dealing with her ex-bestie. Their relationship derailed with the whole Dmitri von Lochner affair. Leo betrayed Gwen, all in the name of his happiness. Meanwhile, Leo is going to have to explain the details of this hot mess to Javi. The past is past, but what will Javi think about how Leo's friendship with Gwen ended? Also, there are a few options here. 1. Gwen and Leo simply ignore each other while she's in town, and they go their separate ways again. 2. Gwen figures out that this bitterness over Dmitri isn't worth it and makes up with Leo, and remains happy with her fortune. 3. She decides to enact revenge on her former best friend. Chad asked Julie if her negative feelings for Doug III would soften if she got the necklace back, and she said she didn't know. Do you think Julie could forgive Doug's grandson? What did you think of Stephanie and Alex exchanging "I love yous" and then making love al fresco at the park? Do you think that Javi and Leo will eventually want to do more than foster Tesoro? Will they want to adopt him? Leo seems to be getting attached. Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the July 9th, 2025 episode tease Bonnie back in the Kiriakis mansion. It's been a minute since we've seen Bonnie. We even saw Evans bring back the ghost of her former character, Adrienne, for Steve's retirement. But Bonnie seems fully recovered from her tragic fall down the elevator shaft earlier this year, and she may have a piece of advice or two for a struggling Sarah. Got a red-hot theory about your favorite soap storyline? Email news@soaphub.com. Yours could be our next hot topic. Here is your Days of Our Lives recap for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. When Alex told Stephanie he loved her, Leo took Tesoro to the hospital, Gwen taunted Julie, and Doug's loan shark stalked Ari. In the park, Alex and Stephanie watched the fireworks over a picnic and then danced together. "I can't believe I outed myself as the author of One Stormy Night," Stephanie said with a cringe. Stephanie worried aloud that more people would learn she was the author. Alex suggested that they settle on a pseudonym to make Stephanie less anxious. Stephanie talked about how, as a child, she had snuck romance novels from her grandmother Jo's collection. Stephanie and Alex talked about how Jack had once attempted to pass off Kate's romance novel as his own. Even though it was almost entirely based on her own life, Stephanie added. Alex noted that he bet Stephanie was relieved she had not based her book on her life. Stephanie admitted that some details in the book had been autobiographical. Alex pushed for details, and Stephanie suggested that they play Never Have I Ever. Alex told Stephanie that he loved her. "You are the first woman who ever made me want to truly settle down and try something real," Alex said. Alex admitted that he had been afraid to tell Stephanie that he loved her because he had worried that he would lose her again. Stephanie told Alex that she loved him too. "Never have I ever had sex in the park," Stephanie whispered. "I'm starting to like this game," Alex said. At the hospital, Kayla and Javi complained about the stupidity of people around the 4th of July holiday. When Javi mentioned that people had set off fireworks by his house and kept the baby up, Kayla asked about the little guy. "Perfect little angel," Javi said. Leo paced the Hernadez kitchen, cradling the baby as it cried. Neither Gabby nor Ari could quiet Tesoro. "Nothing is helping. I'm worried something is really wrong with him," Leo said. Worried, Leo announced that he wanted to take the baby to the hospital. Gabby told Leo that was an overreaction, but Leo said he wanted to be sure. After Leo left, Gabby said, "He actually seems pretty good with the kid. Even if taking him to the hospital was an overreaction, at least it shows that he cares." Ari noted that it was hard to believe that Leo cared about anyone other than himself. "I do not know what Javi sees in him," Ari said. Gabby mentioned her efforts to push Leo out of the house. "But your Uncle Rafe has a bleeding heart," Gabby said. "Which I guess explains why he helped Javi and Leo foster poor Tesoro in the first place," Ari said. When Ari wondered aloud why the mother had given up the baby, Gabby admitted she had had her doubts about motherhood when she had been a teen mom. "I'd say you turned out to be a great mom," Rafe said as he entered the house. Gabby hugged her brother. When Rafe asked Ari why she was home on the 4th, Ari noted that Holly and Sophia were both busy. "So you're telling me that no cute boys have asked you out?" Rafe said. "I'm not really looking to date anyone right now," Ari said. Rafe asked about Doug. Ari pretended not to know him. Rafe explained that Roman had seen Ari flirting with Doug at the pub. "I was being friendly," Ari said. "You said he didn't know who he was," Gabby noted. Ari pretended that she had forgotten Doug's name. After a moment, Gabby argued that Doug was older and a thief, and she demanded to know about Ari's connection to him. "We're both sort of new in town, and he's cute," Ari said. Rafe advised Ari to be careful, and Ari admitted she had realized that Doug was flaky. "I'm totally uninterested," Ari said. Annoyed, Ari reminded her family that she was an adult. Gabby argued that even though Ari was an adult, they still worried about her safety. After Ari left, Rafe informed Gabby that someone had turned in the memory card from the camera he had planted at the Dimera mansion. "Did it record the shooting?" Gabby asked. Rafe explained that forensics needed to test it before they played the footage. "I just hope to God that it shows who shot EJ and that it proves Johnny is innocent," Rafe said. "I hope so too, because if I have to testify against EJ's son, who knows what he'll do," Gabby said. At the hospital, Kayla confirmed that baby Tesoro was healthy. "He's just having some tummy troubles right now," Kayla said. Leo worried aloud that he had done something wrong. Kayla suggested that Leo switch to a hypoallergenic brand of formula. Leo joked that Tesoro had expensive taste like him. Kayla chuckled. "I'm really surprised to see you like this. Normally," Kayla said with a shrug. "Self-centered? Like the least nurturing person you'd ever met?" Leo countered. Kayla nodded in agreement. With a grin, Leo said that everyone at the Hernadez house was in love with the baby. Kayla checked on samples for the formula, but she learned that the new hospital policy did not allow for it. "Damn budget cuts. I swear to God, that EJ Dimera," Kayla grumbled. "Turns out, him buying the hospital didn't solve your problems after all," Leo said. Kayla noted off the record that EJ had seemed to make things worse. Javi returned to the hospital to drop off a patient, and he was surprised to see Leo. "Is everything okay with Tesoro?" Javi asked. Kayla explained the situation with the formula. Gwen walked into the Horton house with Alice's necklace on. As Chad smirked and Julie's jaw dropped, Gwen said, "Happy Independence Day." Julie asked Gwen how she had obtained the necklace. Gwen explained that she had used Dimitri's inheritance to purchase the necklace from a broker. Julie pointed out that the necklace had been stolen from her house by Doug's grandson. Hope did mention something about that. "I did hear about your late husband, Doug, passing. I have to say sincerely, I was very sorry to hear about it. Doug was a good man. He was always very kind and respectful towards me," Gwen said. Julie thanked Gwen. When Julie told Gwen that she appreciated that Gwen had traveled to Salem to return her family heirloom, Gwen balked. "I have no intention of giving it to anyone. The way I see it, it's mine to keep," Gwen said. When Chad mentioned that Gwen had promised Hope that she would transport the necklace, Gwen said she had kept her promise. "I just didn't say anything about having to give it up," Gwen said. "But now you know it's stolen," Chad argued. Julie argued that she did not believe that Gwen had purchased her grandmother's necklace by accident. Gwen admitted she had read about the necklace in the newspaper. "So you bought the necklace just so Julie couldn't have it, right? Are you really that petty?" Chad asked. "Are you really that surprised? After all, the Hortons haven't been very nice to me over the years, have they?" Gwen countered. With a grin, Gwen said she was having fun teasing Julie. "How much do you want for the necklace?" Julie asked. Gwen asked Julie why she believed the necklace was for sale. "Because I know you, Gwen. I know you never miss an opportunity to get rich quick," Julie said. Gwen reminded Julie that she was already rich. "So you flew all this way just to spite us," Chad noted. Gwen said yes, and she rejoiced over the look on Julie's face. "You may have money in the bank, but you still lack in absolutely everything else," Chad said. Gwen asked about Jack, and Julie said he had already left town. Gwen said she had heard about the Abigail imposter. "Even though my father and I aren't on speaking terms, he didn't deserve that," Gwen said. "At least we agree on something," Julie said, as she looked pointedly at Chad. Julie vowed to get her necklace back. After Gwen left, Julie said she hated the idea that Gwen had her family heirloom. "From the moment we found it, I thought it was a gift from Doug. And then his lying grandson stole it, right from under our noses," Julie said. "Do you think that if we get this necklace back, that it's going to soften your resentment towards him? Do you think that you're going to be able to mend that relationship?" Chad asked. Julie said she did not know. After Javi and Leo purchased formula in the square, they stopped at the cafe. "You're great with Tesoro, just like I knew you'd be," Javi said. "I guess I am getting the hang of this foster parenting thing," Leo said. Leo talked about work, and he said he believed that Johnny was innocent. "I think it shows you have good intentions and a heart," Javi said. "Oh, please," Gwen said as she walked up behind Leo. Leo turned and gaped at his ex-best friend. "It really is so heartwarming seeing you be all domesticated now, Maddie. Seems you've been quite busy since I've been away," Gwen said. As Gwen fondled her necklace, she noted that she did not care about Leo. "Oh my God, that necklace belongs to Julie Williams," Leo said. "Not anymore, it doesn't," Gwen sneered. "It's been quite some time since we saw Julie Dove's unhinged Connie Vaninsky on Days of Our Lives. She was the one who killed Lee Shin and framed Gabby Hernandez for it. She later murdered Bobby Stein and was ultimately captured and sent to Bayview to get treatment. In real life, Dove is a true crime enthusiast and has her own podcast called True Texas Crime: The Significant Life of Angela Stevens. Her show did so well that she shared an unboxing video to reveal the fruits of her labor. Days of Our Lives, Julie Dove wrote on Instagram, "Exactly 1 year ago, Carrie Hargrave and I released the trailer for True Texas Crime: The Significant Life of Angela Stevens, and today we're celebrating the arrival of our #Webbies. It all seems so surreal," she continued. "I'm so thankful for Carrie and for each of you that have listened to the podcast. If you haven't had a chance to listen, you can find us on all podcasting platforms." Fan @KathyGunn commented, "Congratulations again. You did an amazing job on the podcast. This recognition is very well deserved." In the video, Dove excitedly opens the package and, while doing so, says, "All right, let's open my Webby award. You saw Carrie posted her 2 awards. I've only ordered 1 so far because they're kind of expensive, and we only each got 1 free one. Yeah, in case you didn't know it when you win an award, I think you have to buy it, no matter what the award is. I've never won an award, except for some duet acting awards with Christy Casey in high school. But seriously though, I'm kind of excited. All right." Upon opening it, there was a smaller box inside, and Dove opened that as well, revealing the Webby Award, which looks like a giant spring on a circular stand. She remarked, "Look at this. Oh my gosh, It's so nice. It's heavy. Wow. She referenced Carrie Hargrave, who produced the Days of Our Lives Stars podcast. Hargrave had posted a photo of herself on Instagram holding up 2 Webbies and wrote, "The official hardware from at the Webby Awards came in today. A year ago today, we released the podcast trailer for At True Texas Crime. What a year it has been. This project has and will always be near and dear to my heart. At True Texas Crime has more stories, and at Julie Dove and I are ready to share them." When Dove and Hargrave shared an Instagram pic back in May after the awards show, it was captioned, "Here are a few highlights from our weekend at the Webby Awards. We had an incredible experience. The full show was not broadcast live, but you didn't miss seeing us as only a select few winners accepted their Webbies on stage. We didn't mind. We were just so proud to be there for Angela and voiceless victims. Thank you all for joining us on this journey. There are more stories to tell, so stay tuned."